Welcome to another episode of Two Ales and Hockey Tales with Wally. And today I am so excited to have on a 40-ish-year-old from Cardiff, Wales. His hockey journey has taken him to Wales, England, Austria, and soon China. He is a shed legend. Gotta be his fifth or sixth time zoom into the shed, but he will see it in person after I mop the floor with him at Batchy's testimonial. He has helped the shed raise money for various causes. He is widely known around the game we call hockey as the funnest kit guy in the game and will do anything to help the team win. He would even paint my tallywhacker to get the W. And now that the world is finding out about his many talents as he is heading to the World Championships and just may have to paint a tallywhacker or two to get the W, welcome back to the shed, David Owen. Or Dease.
Hello, Waldo. How are you doing?
Are you in your shed, eh? That's a nice shed.
I'm in my shed. It's not as glamorous as your shed, but I'm in my shed and I'm building roller skates. I'm taking ice skates apart and building some roller skates.
Is this for you to skate around in?
Yeah, I stupidly said I'd go play inline hockey with some of my old buddies tonight. I'm instantly regretting it right now.
You're going to play roller hockey? How's your knee going to handle that?
I got the Donjoy. I got a new Donjoy, so I got the RoboCop.
You got the brace, eh? That's going to protect you. You know, I was an arch champion. That's a North American roller hockey champion. Yeah, and we won and partied at the Lonnie Kai, ran amok, but that team, the Cool Shots, the Molson Canadian Cool Shots, we're making a return this summer, and I got invited to come out of retirement with the squad to play in a tournament, and there's no way my knee could do that. There's no way I could stop on rollerblades without something popping.
Iron hockey hurts a hell of a lot more than ice hockey.
The stopping's way harder.
I don't do that anymore. I just roll around in a big circle.
Oh, yeah. Well, then you're not really competing.
No.
I know if I got out there and we were playing competitive games, I'd ruin myself trying to win.
I'm certain that's what blew my knees up in the first place. It was in line hockey. Because, like you say,
it could be the barrel you're carried around too.
I have a barrel left. Now I have the barrel.
Oh, were you skinny? You did play a year of professional hockey, folks. Don't forget that.
Yeah, I was actually real skinny, and then I discovered what a lot of alcohol and bad diet do to you.
So you're actually putting the boots of real skates and putting the rollerblade bottoms on it? What machine do you need to do that?
You just need a riveter, this big red thing right here.
The riveter. Yeah.
I use a blade.
So I don't have one of those. So I get into how we know each other, Dease, and I guess you will be in the shed in not too long, eh?
I'm so fucking excited.
Oh dear, I'm nervous.
Lisa has Lisa's only known me for what? 2 seasons, and she only gets to see me when I'm being nice at the ring. Hey, how you doing? How's the kids? Fucking clue what's coming.
I think she does actually, Dease. Because she asked me if I thought we'd be divorced by the end of your trip.
Highly possible.
But you know what? I sent an invite to Dougie Clarkson to the Clarksons for the first weekend you're here, and I was gonna see if they'd stay the weekend. You know that in the police officering world, he doesn't even know what his schedule is, and he can't confirm if they can come or not because he doesn't know if he's gonna have to work.
So when do they get
that job? Apparently, he's transferring to a new department, so until he transfers, he won't know his new schedule. He's not gonna find out till the start of May.
And how far away is Hoff? I spoke to Hoff the other day, but I forgot to ask him how
Hoff
far away
is. I think he's downtown, isn't he?
Oh, is he right in there?
I think he's right up in the city. But I think he's that would take to get downtown Toronto, I'm pretty sure is 3 hours.
Yeah.
What about Crazy Carl?
Oh my god.
We should get him out of the woodwork, eh?
Get Carl.
We need Carl.
Carl.
Where are we gonna put all these people if they can come?
You have to tell Carl now because he's probably got to fire up a horse and cart and buggy and shit.
Oh, we got that stuff around here. Fit right in.
You know, Carl's probably got to send smoke signals to someone to get him here.
Well, it's going to be cool to see each other at Batchy's testimonial too. Hoth is confirmed going to that. I saw Batchy put out the roster of everybody coming. It's going to be quite the time.
Haddadio's coming.
Joey Haddad is coming. Maybe the cook-off will finally happen.
I can't wait to chirp the life out of him about him and his teeth. And he can't chirp me about my teeth anymore.
I can't wait to see him. I haven't seen him at all. And I haven't even got him to the shed. He's coaching like AAA now. And he's all busy, you know?
I hope he's got fat, but I know it won't happen.
There's no way he's gotten fat, man. That guy's going to be ripped his whole life. It's a body type thing. We just didn't have it. It was out of our control. You know?
Yeah, genetics.
It's genetics, right?
Look at Ronnie, and you knew you were doomed.
Yeah. Chicken legs and no ass. And a beer belly.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Genes are a thing. How we know each other though, you are coming here for 2 weeks, folks. It's gonna be a marathon, not a sprint. Some of the events that we have on the to-do list, Wheelie Wednesdays. Colby in June has dirt biking lessons, so we're gonna be cruising the back roads to Walton, Ontario is where his dirt bike lessons are. So that'll be our Wednesdays. And also shed guy Scoot Weber, my brother-in-law, it's his 40th birthday party the second Saturday you're here, and we are having a shindig.
That poor guy.
There's like a live band playing and whatnot. Should be a hoot, you know. So June's gonna be something, eh? Can you stop working and get involved in the podcast now, please?
You told me you wanted me to carry on my work.
No, I don't need you to be working now. Stop it.
Oh, let me hang this one more rivet in.
Get focused. Get focused. Get involved here, okay? The other way we know each other, we just had a raffle, right? To raise money to get over to Batchy's testimonial. I totally forget how much we raised, but it was pretty cool. Because your brutal team, the Graz 99ers, we raffled off a team signed jersey of like the last place team in Austria. And we raised quite a bit of money, didn't we?
We went last.
No?
We got into got knocked out in the first round. That's why I'm home already.
Oh, really? I thought you guys were way worse just based off the research team because your second leading scorer had only 23 points.
We were good.
Did you guys not have power plays this year or what?
We had a lot of injuries.
A lot of injuries? Your second leading scorer had 23 points all year.
Yeah. We had a lot of losses.
A lot of losses. So that team, very international, but I always talk about how the coaches you have, people know their circle of hockey, right? And you guys had a lot of Scandinavians on your team this season. Norwegians, Swedes, Finns, right?
Jurgel Burgle. That's all I understood most of the year.
What was that?
Jurgel Burgle. That's what they talk. Like the Swedish chef on the Muppets.
I don't know the Muppets that well, you know? Didn't really get into that.
Together and I just shout, chicken!
So yeah, I did like your coaches were what, Swedish, right?
Yeah, all Swedes. Great guys. Absolute beauties.
So then they bring in Swedes and Norwegians and Finns, right? That's going to be their hockey circle. And I find it interesting for me because my circle is shed guys. And I find it really neat how many Canadian players have their jerseys retired around the world. We're putting together quite the roster of retired jerseys of shed guys, and they all seem to be from a lot of small town Canada, you know?
Well, you got your jersey retired in Belfast, never played there.
Yeah, that's right. Number 18, Walton, is retired. Right up beside Killer Kelman, eh?
Always makes me laugh whenever we go there. Or whenever we
it actually... There, it doesn't really make me laugh because that was like a goal of my career, is to get my jersey retired somewhere. Never did it. And then that punk's got his up there, right? I just never played in a place long enough because everybody, I'm not for everyone. I'd always get asked to kindly leave.
know that feel.
Yeah. So your big news, we may as well announce it in the shed, right? Breaking news, right?
Breaking.
I'm like a media mogul now, folks. Breaking hockey news in the shed. David Owen, folks, a Welshman, is going to the World Championships, right?
Yes, I am. With Team China.
Team China. Research team got hot. A lot of Canadians on that team.
A lot of Chris Chelios is on that team.
Yeah, Jake Chelios. And then you got the Foos, Parker, and Spencer. They look like players. Then Brandon Yip. Colin Joe is playing in Dundee this year. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, apparently a guy that plays for Team China is playing for the Dundee Stars this year. Colin Joe.
Mosey didn't tell me when I spoke to Mosey and told him I was going to China. He didn't say about that guy.
Mosey?
Craig Moore. Oh, you don't know Craig Moore. He was in Cardiff the year after.
Oh, Craig Moore. I got you. I thought you were talking about Evan Mosey.
Oh, I wouldn't phone Mosey. I wouldn't get off the phone.
Do you know what else is neat about this team you're going to? Okay. For Team China, folks, right? Almost every player plays for the Kunlun Red Stars in the KHL.
Yeah. And the head coach.
And the head coach, who is an Italian Canadian.
Yeah.
It's the same guy. And then the assistant coach was Canadian and Finnish before.
Yeah.
For Team China, folks.
I don't know if he's coming. The goalie coach is Canadian working in Germany.
Really? Who?
Cam McDonald.
Don't know him. You know what else I thought was interesting too about this squad? I don't know if it'd be the same GM, but you know, I've had a lot of countries listen to the shed so far, right? Like 78. So now I know what a lot of flags look like because I think it's really neat how many people listen. So thanks, Shed family. But your GM is not a China flag beside him when the research team got hot. He is from Kyrgyzstan.
What?
Yeah, that's what the flag said. Kyrgyzstan. That's a country, I guess. And that's actually a country that's never listened to the shed. So there are still countries out there that haven't listened, folks. So get involved, right?
Spread the word. Spread the word.
In Kyrgyzstan, right? So if he's the GM, tell him to listen in Kyrgyzstan, okay? Get a new country. The old kit guy was Finnish that you took his job, eh?
I have no idea.
It's true. I looked it up. Yeah. Wonder what happened. Maybe somebody lost an edge. He wasn't ready, eh? Maybe somebody broke a stick. He didn't have this lumber ready.
Maybe he wasn't good with the chips.
Maybe he didn't even soak any linesmen with water bottles, right? Probably wouldn't even spray paint people for pregame speeches either.
Right? Just a
yeah, for sure. But actually, like, I didn't know who'd be on Team China. It looks like you guys got a squad.
It's actually real good squad. So they were projected for gold or silver in our group. So if we get gold,
you get a gold medal. David Owen from Cardiff, Wales would have a gold medal from the World Championships. Hey, that's cool.
But if we win and Team GB don't go back up to Group A or Pool A, whatever it's called, then China would be in the same group as GB next year.
China's that far down with that squad? They're in the third group?
Yeah.
Oh, you guys are going to crush teams then.
Should do.
Right? You guys have like NHL players.
And then it's also wild because I know the coach. Well, you know the coach for Team Netherlands because he called you to get a reference on me, Doug Mason.
Oh, yeah. So he was the guy that was originally in Graz, right?
Yeah, my old coach is the coach of Team Netherlands, so that's super cool. I get to see him.
That is super cool. Wow, it's a small world, eh?
It's a super small world.
So now I like, yeah, it's cool when you watch World Championships and you know people, right? It makes you way more invested in who wins the game.
Yeah, I don't think there'll be much TV coverage of me on the bench.
I'll, I never would have guessed I would cheer for Team China in the World Championships, but I'd love to see you with a gold medal and see you just get after it. Where is the tournament?
We got 3 weeks training camp in Riga, which is Latvia, and then I don't know where exactly, but the tournament's in Estonia at the end of April.
Really? You're gonna play against Estonia with that squad?
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys might do all right. Eh? Is this must be somewhat new that they're getting all these Canadians to play for Team China or what?
Kunlun have been in the KHL for a couple of seasons now, so
changes everything, eh?
Yeah. Obviously, once they've stayed there a few years, they get passports and stuff, so then they can stack it.
Yeah. It's interesting because passports can change people's hockey careers big time. The guys that get German passports, well, to be honest, they can get jobs a lot easier than an import because there's way more imports in the world. We're everywhere. But if you have a German pass, it changes things. Having that team join the KHL, and for these fellas that could get Chinese passports, it is a game changer that team exists because now they're gonna be playing the KHL, making like life-changing money playing hockey because they have a Chinese passport.
Yeah, it's absolutely wild. It's like your buddy Lampel. He's in Straubing with Jeff Maxwell.
That's right.
And he's got a German pass and he's laughing.
Yeah, no, I saw it for years over there. The Canadians, I would go over and be able to get that pass. Man, they can be there for decades,
Yeah, it's wild. I think if I 2 more years in Austria, I think I get a pass.
What do you need that for?
I don't know.
I guess you're still an import in the equipment managing world, eh? Is somebody at your shed? Where is your shed? Where are you?
At my parents' house.
Really?
And it's in the rink. So my mum brought me a coffee.
Oh, that's nice of her. So you're back near Cardiff then, eh? So your season's already over and you're back home. That's it.
Done, packed and racked.
So you don't meet up with Team China until Latvia?
No, originally I was going to go to China and then pack and then go to Latvia, but they're getting my assistant to do all that stuff, and then I just roll in and big dick it.
You have an assistant in China right now?
Yeah.
That's cool. So when, like, what do they pay you just when you show up in Latvia, or are you getting paid through the summer because you have an assistant working for you? Because you'd have to be getting everything ordered and stuff.
I just get paid for like the month of April. It's just like a 1 month gig.
Right. Okay. So it's 3 weeks in Latvia and then you're going to Estonia. So you'll probably have some fun.
Oh, yeah.
That's a way more exciting summer than doing nothing, eh?
It's actually really shortened my summer because obviously I just got home. I've got 12 days at home. Then I go bounce off and I'm gone all of April. I'm home. What am I home? 6 weeks. Then we do I'm home for all of May. We do Batchy's testimonial. Then I fly out to see you.
Yeah.
I back from your place 22nd of June. And then 4th of July, I fly back to Graz to get ready for the season.
Right. So you are back in Graz then. You got another year or two.
Yeah, I got another year on my contract. So I'm
back same there. Coaches and stuff then?
Yeah, keeping the same coaching team.
Was that their first year this year?
Yeah, it was their first year. And we had a lot of rollover players, that were on 2-year contracts and stuff.
So now they get to make it their own.
Yeah. So we're going to have a whole new clearance. It's going to be a bit there, I think.
What were the fans like when you guys were having? I mean, you made the playoffs, so you weren't that bad, I guess. Eh? How many teams are in that league?
12 or 13.
And 8 made it, or what? Or 10?
10 make it, and then they chop it down to 8 because you've got to do
the pre-playoffs. Yeah, the 7 against 10 and 8 against 9. Yeah.
Lost the pre-playoffs. So,
right. So that's not a very memorable year. I've been through that. Those are the type of guys where the end of the season, you're kind of like, well, guess that's a year. See you later. And you really don't ever really talk to each other that much. Like the guys I won with, the guys I even went to the finals with, like it's a different end of season than when you get put out in pre-playoffs and you're all just kind of like, well, see you later. Right?
Yeah, winners stay together. You know,
Yeah.
like we all say, we all still speak to each other on that first 2-3 years of Cardiff.
Oh yeah.
We're all still pretty tight, that group. Unfortunately, speak to Bouncy almost every day, so I get interesting.
Well, and it's like your hockey buddies are still your hockey buddies if you finish in 8th to 10th. It's just a different relationship than the guys that you did it with, you know?
Exactly. But no, we did have a good group. We just didn't do it on ice. We didn't what's the word? Not the chemistry, but we didn't build
the brotherhood.
Players we didn't complement each other.
Yeah. That happens sometimes, man. I found, I don't know why this would be, but the best, teams I was closest with, the imports, every country where you grow up, it makes you who you are, what town, everything. The closest teams I were on were Cardiff Devils, which were mainly Canadian imports, a lot of small towns, and some big cities too, but a lot of Canadians. And then when I was in Bietigheim the first year and we won the championship, and it was Germans from Landshut and by Bietigheim were fantastic people. And then also the imports were all Canadian. And it was the closest teams I was ever on. And I would say that the ones that weren't the closest are where we had a very international squad where you were all friends and you all got along, but I don't even know how to explain it. It just wasn't as tight when you got people from all different backgrounds.
It works or it doesn't work.
Yeah.
And if it works, then you're going. You could not have the best team on the ice, but because everyone wants to go in the same direction and they want to fight for each other, then you're going to win.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's not always about how talented your team is. It is literally, people may think I'm crazy because I always talk about how drinking beers as a team helps you win. I think it is as important as it gets in hockey to have nights out as a team, or like you get a day off and the fellas all go for lunch and you end up staying together until after dinner, you know, and you have a day.
I don't want to go for lunch and it turns into, so what are we doing now? Well, we're going to have dinner in an hour, so we might as well have some more beers.
Right. And wait, and then we'll go somewhere for dinner. And then all of a sudden you had a full day and like you become like a family. And those days are important for championships.
Realize it's Wednesday and it's karaoke night at one of the bars.
All right. And sometimes the coaches and GMs don't understand that, but you know, the players understand you need to do it.
Yeah, exactly. But with the coaches we've got this year, they understand that they've got to blow off some steam and they've got to bond.
That's cool.
So that happens. We get green lights.
How big of a difference is it for you then who the coach is being an equipment manager? Is this a loaded question?
Yeah, sure, fucking loaded question.
You can answer it however you want, Dease. It's just a question.
Let's just say I'm a lot more relaxed. I'm a lot more not so tired.
Unstressed as well. Stress-free, I think you call it.
Yeah, I don't think I have a great deal of stress anymore. So yeah, it depends. And then you have other coaches that are so laid back that it's actually infuriating because you're like,
what do you do? Yeah.
I won't, but I've had a coach in the past and I'm just like, hey, so what's scheduled tomorrow? I don't know. You do the schedule. I'm like, the fuck, equipment guy. You do.
Oh, and every coach would be totally different to work for, eh?
It's always interesting because you never know what personality you're going to get, what work ethic you're going to get, and what they're going to want. Some coaches don't give a shit. Like when I was in Finna in Manchester, he was awesome. Just let me do what I want. When he's like, as long as no one complains and as long as you're ready, I don't give a fuck how you do it.
And
And
yeah,
that,
he's not a micromanager, you could say.
yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
I don't know any micromanagers, honestly.
Um,
Maybe lying. Maybe lying.
no, but it's interesting with coaching, right? Because I'm right into it. I love it. And it's interesting talking around the shed, and I feel like I'm learning and stuff. Um, Everybody coaches different. Everybody thinks different things are important. It's like some guys would watch video on the other team all day long. And I mean, you can do that, and there's some things you might pick out, but like then there's also watching the video on your team and what you're doing. And then there's the argument of the teams I found that were the best. We didn't really worry about what the other team was doing. We worried about how we played, and we went out there and ran amok, and they could do whatever they wanted because we were going to beat them anyways.
You know, I'm of the opinion you should really study A, their standard breakouts, and B, how their power play sets up. That's the only two things.
Right. And like then there's like the neutral zone stuff. If they're doing something different, right?
Yeah.
Like if they're doing anything different on like the PK or the power play breakouts, like that stuff's can be important so you know what's up. But I mean, it matters how you play. And like there are teams where we would go through so much stuff about the other team. And like then you'd go out and play and be so focused on what they were doing because you talked about it all week. And then it's like, well, we should be worried about what we're doing, not what they're doing, you know? But
Then it just blows. It can be overload.
But speaking of coaching, this is my gal's last weekend, man. I have my last practice tonight of the season with them. It's sad.
Wow.
Yeah.
But are you going back with them next year or what?
As of right now, Zoe, I think she's just effing with me. Because she likes to do that. She keeps telling me she's not gonna play. But then like she asks for hockey stuff, and she has hockey girl stickers all over the place. And she said she wants to do competitive gymnastics, but like I'm trying to say you can do both. Just you don't do the competitive gymnastics, do like gymnastics, but then also do hockey so you can do both. And we're at a stalemate right now. So I have my name in to coach the boys team. So the way that worked was I was told by someone in minor hockey that I had no chance of getting the job because Colby is a first year out of 2 years, and they've never given a job to a first year dad. And I thought to myself, well, that doesn't make sense in hockey. If you're the right person to coach a team, it doesn't matter how old your kid is because Colby's good enough to make the team. He's going to be on the team. So why wouldn't I be the coach? So then after speaking with a few people about it, they said, well, why don't you get creative with your application and like ask parents for some recommendation letters? So I did. And I asked my last 2 teams, the parents, and I said, these things haven't gone my way in the past. If you are up for writing a letter for me, sweet business. If not, no pressure. It's fine. And I got a lot of letters from parents, and they were really, really nice. And I sent those in to minor hockey with my application, and I filled out a full application of my hockey career. And let's see how it goes this time, right?
When will you know if they given you a date or whatever?
All I know is you have to have your application in by April 1st. So I guess after that, they would probably decide.
So probably mid to late April once they trolled through a few.
Right. But and if Zoe said she was coaching, I don't want to not coach these girls, man. I'm invested in these gals, and like I think we have a dynasty here of the 2015 gals. They love hockey. They're good and they're buddies, and I think it would be a blast to like raise them right up, through hockey together and just run amok of the gals leagues. But if I could get the boys team and I can manipulate the schedules that it could work for both teams, I really do feel I could coach both teams. But if I could be like the assistant on the girls team and the head of the boys, that would all work, just let me help. Right.
Let you do something.
Right. So you know what? The season's over now. I can bring it up now, right? It's my shed. I can talk about whatever I want. This past season, I put in my name to coach the boys team. Kincardine, Ontario did not give me the coaching job. And then the fella that did get it did not want me to help either. So they had their season. So they had their season. They won silver stick. It was great. I thought these boys around here were ready to win it all this season. I wasn't able to help and I wasn't involved, and it was very difficult to watch throughout the year. But their season has come to an end. They were put out, and last night we had the parent kid game, and I did go out and run amok, dominated. It was funny.
Disco.
I scored a few goals. I had to let you know. I see these boys growing up and how fast it's happening. You got to win while you still can, right? It's not going to be long because they're getting better. I'm getting worse, right?
You're getting older, Wally. We're all getting older.
And yeah, I'm a bit fatter.
You only get fatter once I get there.
Well, that's going to be quite a 2 weeks. But anyways, yeah, it was an interesting season with the boys. It was very hard to watch from start to finish and not be able to help. And that's really all I wanted to do, right? But everything works out for a reason. And I got to have my season with the gals and got to be the head coach and build the culture with these girls and build their love of the game. And I'm actually very thankful how it all worked out, you know?
Good.
Yeah. Right. So I'd get into your poster picks now, but you're useless and didn't even send me any. Way to go.
Don't do cameras. I'm not very good at this.
Yeah. Anyways, you brought up Jeff Maxwell, eh? And like, it's weird for me now that like I like teams around the world and I root for teams. Is they're in the the quarterfinals and they're tied 2-2 right now.
Get who they're playing. Fuck.
I saw Wolfsburg.
Yeah, Wolfsburg. They played last night.
Yeah, it's neat when you meet people in your shed because now I want to see Cody Lample play, right? He seems like a dandy, and I'd like to. I can picture how everybody plays hockey, but I've never actually seen if I'm right. Huh?
When the game I watched him play, he was going real hard.
He gives her, eh? I could when you're using a stick that looks like an old wooden stick, you have to give her out there. You can't not try hard with that stick, right?
Yeah, if you're using that, then the young guys out there are like, what the hell is that thing?
Right? Then you got to give her and show them what's up. But yeah, small hockey world is Jeff Maxwell just this week or last week, whenever it was. I don't know, days are blending together here, but Maxie was the one that just randomly out of nowhere sends me a picture of a DVD that says the Daytona Beach Bombers of Ohio's rookie party 2006.
Sent me a pictures too, and he's like, look at Wally.
Yeah, well, I was just being a part of it, right? That's part of pro hockey, folks. You got to enjoy your rookie party, right?
Got to embrace all experiences while you can.
Right? You only get one rookie party, fellas. If you're going to do it right, right?
You're going to get in one, so you might as well embrace getting one and just roll.
And then we did have practice the next day. Holy cats. Was that a tough one?
No thanks.
I still remember, like, you know how there's practices where the fellas could show up like kind of in one from having a fun day. That next day, I still remember Bruce, my buddy Trevor Frisch, was so crushed still. And you know, there's like a pile of pucks and you got to go pick one up and pass it to someone. He went in and stepped on all the pucks and crashed into the boards. He couldn't even stand up, but he was trying to go like a million miles an hour. And I'm like, Bruce, slow down, man. You gotta handle the puck and like not screw up drills and not kill yourself. He's like, what, yeah. Wally? I'm just trying to get better. Like,
coaches,
you're gonna kill yourself.
Everyone knows if a guy shows up and he's still, and they're like, okay, well, he showed up, so that's a good start. They don't want you to be out there buzzing 100 miles an hour. They just
they want you to build some character and get through it with the fellas, right?
Suck it up. Just make some passes. Like, you don't have to skate 100 miles an hour.
No. Yeah. Bro, all this stuff brings back memories. I remember the day Monday Fun Day got canceled in Bietigheim.
What we used to have.
Oh, God. It was...
Thursdays or Thursday Tuesdays. I can't remember.
Monday Fun Days at Bietigheim, man. So this coach put us through the ringer all July of these workouts. And then come season, Tuesdays would like, it was as crazy as a practice could get. We'd show up at whatever time and lift weights and run and jump and do all this shit for like an hour and a half. We'd be so cooked from that workout. And then we'd go practice for, it had to have been 2 hours, and it was bag skate battling. It was full chaos on Tuesdays. And we knew this, but we would go out for Monday fun days. We'd start around lunchtime and she'd go till about dinner time or whatnot, right? And each Monday kind of progressed and we got a little deeper and deeper in the pocket. And then the last Monday that we had one. Oh geez, it was funny. We had everybody, right? The wives, the guys, we all went to a place together where people like dance on stages, right? And it went later than it was supposed to. And then you get the train back to Bietigheim, but then you show up for Tuesday practice. The coach said no more Monday fun day.
He's like, okay, push that boat way too far.
Push the envelope a little bit, right? We didn't stop at dinner time, you know?
Yeah. There was a few of those this year for me where I go, like I said earlier, Wednesdays, one of the bar has karaoke's in town. So I might go out with someone.
And you sing? You sing karaoke?
I just get in one and just sing or just and drink, whatever.
You do get up on stage and sing?
Yeah.
What's your song? What would you go with?
What did I sing last time? Shit. We sung Teenage Dirtbag, me and the goalie coach last time.
Teenage Dirtbag?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, you are a teenage dirtbag.
We'll sing it. That closes at 2. Gotta get home, and then we have a meeting.
Must be interesting being in the hockey world and not having to like play hockey every day. You could just do whatever, eh? As long as everything's done.
Yeah, that's what. Like, if I know we're going for dinner, I'll stay late and I'll do everything. Like, the only thing I'll have to do in the morning is hang jerseys. So I'll get all the laundry hung, everything. So I have nothing to do. We have staff meeting at 8 and then a player meeting at 9. So I probably get around 5 hours sleep. Depends if I wake up on the bathroom floor or not. Did that twice. And then players coming up around 8:30, and they'll come in and
this is in Graz. They're there at 8:30.
Yeah. It's early. Then we have meeting, then we have workout, then we have ice, then we have workout, and then they're done for the day.
A lot of working out, eh?
Yeah. So, but
I remember those days, man. People, it's hard. I hardly remember how much I used to work out. Now I can't find the time to exercise at all. I'd much rather talk to you in the shed than exercise.
Exactly. I just work out what's for dinner every day. That's all I work out.
I got quite a bit going on these days, you could say. Anyways, really looking forward to the gals year-end tournament here. So we play tomorrow at 5:00 is our first game. And then we play 2 Saturday and then 1 Sunday at 11. And then our season's over at noon on Sunday. And we are having a shaker.
I was gonna say there's gotta be a barbecue or something going on there.
Oh yeah. One of the dads, we got a chicken wing fryer. We got the full deal coming. We're gonna be frying chicken wings, and I've never partied with under 9 gals before, but should be a hoot. We had fun at the hotel, right?
Wait for another 12 years and then start partying with that team, and it'll go real wild.
That's what's cool about this coach and the kids, right? Is like the fellas I coached last year, when I see them around, they come up and give me hugs and handshakes. And it's like, I know when you come of age, we're going to hang out and party together and drink beers, right?
Yeah, you'll be at the bar and they'll be like, hey, Coach.
Yeah, it's cool, man, around town when all the girls run up to you. Coach. Good stuff. And thanks to Lee Freeman, my poster maker guy that has built this masterpiece behind me in the shed with all the posters of all the fellas that Dease didn't have the energy to send me pictures for, but that I sent him a lot of pictures from our season this year with the gals, and this season's meant a lot to me. We got posters getting made, so I'm gonna have posters for all the gals when I get to the tournament this weekend, you know?
That's awesome.
It is awesome. And then they can have that poster on their wall in their rooms, right?
Forever.
Right? And hockey's supposed to be fun, and we've had a hoot this year. You know?
Memories made. so you're winning.
Yeah, no, I'm the part that pisses me off though, which it's tough in this house league girls hockey, is they're not letting us play for the trophy. We know when our 4 games are, and then it's over. It's like we're gonna keep score, and there's refs. Who asked the girls that we don't want to have a winner of this tournament? Like, who told you that we're this soft? Because we're not. We want to play for the trophy. We worked all year at getting better at hockey and loving hockey and becoming a team just like these other teams. And we want to show everybody how much better we've got, right? And it's like, you're going to let us keep score, but we can't win the tournament. Grow up.
Point to that.
Right? Isn't that
dumb? Yeah, if you think it's got to be a winner.
I totally agree. That's what hockey's about, winning and losing. And you learn from losing and you learn from winning, right? And winning's fun.
Like, I don't agree with this participation for anything and everything these days.
Everybody's gotten so soft, and it's like, well, the people actually playing the games, aren't they the ones that matter? Like, they're the ones saying they want to play for trophies. So who's telling you they don't want to? Right? Because one kid got their feelings hurt, they lost once. It's like, well, then be better.
Because Timmy's mom, well, Timmy, it's okay. I'll get you a medal and an ice cream anyway for showing up.
Yeah, well, you can still go get your ice cream, right? But like, let the team that won win, right? But the part that's hard for us though is we'll go play towns where they never made a rep team. They'll have like 2 teams where they just split everybody up evenly, and then all of a sudden you get these kids out there that are like, well, you shouldn't be with us. You should go play rep somewhere, you know? Because we have a rep team and then a house tier 2 team, we call it, but it's been an incredible year with these gals and seeing them turn into little hockey girls, you know? It's been fun. Really enjoyed my time. It's gonna be really sad, man, when it's over. This is what I do to entertain myself, right? Is I go coach at night and I'm at the rink, and now it's gonna be over. Tough times. It's weird how hockey seasons come and go, eh?
Real weird. Oh, I forgot to get a bubble for shit. I remember Colby messaged me.
He did message you and he said he wants to try a bubble, and you said you're bringing one. Look at that thing. It's weird for me that I never even thought of getting him a bubble, but he's the one that asked for it. And I did switch to a bubble when I was at Western Michigan, and I enjoyed the bubble.
I have to wear the bubble, obviously, for my teeth, because I can't afford to get them redone.
You
I get
don't
them
want me to
out.
knock him out, almost knock him out again like last year.
Holy shit, Wally.
I came real close to hitting you right in the face.
Oh,
you shouldn't have moved your stick. I was trying to lift your stick. You shouldn't move it.
I was leaning on
the bubbles are good though. So you are bringing that for him? That's cool.
Yeah.
Be interested to probably just try it out.
I'll give it to you to put in your bag so you can go take it back for him.
Oh, that makes sense. Or yeah. Right. Then he could try it before. He just got invited to another flipping tournament. We got an email from apparently they scout under 11 kids now. So we already signed up for 3 spring tournaments, and now we just got an email that he's been invited to this invitation only tournament, and it's in London, and they said they scouted him and blah blah blah. So now we have 4 spring tournaments.
That sounds expensive.
Really expensive. Crazy expensive. Can't afford it.
Expensive as shit these days too.
The whole deal is, man, you start getting hotels for 3 nights, and that's one tournament, and you're like, that just cost me how much? But I mean, I guess you can't put a price on this stuff. This is what we do for fun, and this is life right now, right? So
right now, I bet you he's come from you, so he's probably got size 4 or 5s right now.
For what, skates?
Yeah.
I have no clue. I don't know. It's been a tough winter though. You know, I always buy the size bigger so he has them to break in, but we'd always break him in on the outdoor rinks in the winter. He never skated outdoor once this winter because the rinks never happened.
Yeah, it was so mild over in Graz too.
Brutal.
Not think, oh man, it's cold today.
So many people had rinks all set up and ready to rock. I feel bad for them because it's a lot of work, and then they never even got to use them. Brutal.
They made nice.
Anyways, can't wait for the gals shaker on Sunday. It's gonna be something, right? I hope they bring their mini sticks.
Be a gong.
I guess I haven't asked this question yet, so I'll just ask it. Where and what are you doing now? I guess you're in Penarth at your mom's in your shed building
Yeah,
rollerblades for tonight.
yeah. Building rollerblades, switching some other skates back to ice skates. Because I'm gonna play line hockey with.
Do you get paid year round from Graz, or is it just during the hockey season?
I get paid 10 months,
10 months.
but it suits me because like I then am free to do whatever I want
For
those
2
other.
months.
Yeah, so
Right.
they have no control. Like, see ya.
It's like when I came back to Canada and told Lordo I didn't get a cell phone plan because I didn't. he could only contact me via email, and I like wouldn't respond to him for days.
Sorry.
Sorry, it's summertime, Andrew. Stop it.
Same every Canadian. Yeah, I'm at the cottage, so I don't got no signal. Yeah, okay, but
Yeah. I told him I could only talk if I had Wi-Fi. I was still using the gag ball though, you know? Right?
what we using it for? Hold the door open.
I did work out a lot that summer. I was 171 pounds going into my last year of hockey when I got hurt. Eh?
Didn't you have to like send in pictures of your scale every Monday or something?
Oh, I had to send him everything that went in my mouth, and I would fudge the numbers, and then I remember he sent it to like a dietitian guy, and then he sent me the dietitian's response. And the response wasn't very nice, and I was like, I actually like I didn't even tell him everything I did, and they're chirping me like this, and it's like, I've played 10 years pro doing this, like, get off my back.
Just let me do what I do. Don't try like me.
Fun fact, I got hurt because I was too skinny. I tried to split the D because I was so skinny, and a guy took my knee out. Do you know that I would have never tried to split the D if I was a little bit out of shape?
Also, you would have had a little bit more padding around that knee.
Right?
Fine.
Yeah. 171 pounds, folks, last year hockey, right? Wasn't even allowed to eat a bagel.
I used to love sitting in the room. But when you got injured, remember we'd sit in the room and we'd just eat bagels while they practiced. We'd like that bacon from Costco.
You guys were microwaving the bacon and make the whole room stink.
The whole ring smelled of bacon.
Yeah, and then I wouldn't even be allowed to eat it or a bagel. It's killed me.
Oh, that was wild.
You know what, Andrew? You weren't the first person that tried to body shame me out of the game. Right? I was in like the fat club in every team. It's like, guys, I'm trying here. I am working out just like everybody else, right? It's a body type thing.
Genetics,
right? Oh gosh. You got anything to talk about today? I'm just looking at my notes here. So we haven't really talked about the Manchester store. You were their equipment manager for a year. And have you seen what's going on in Manchester, England these days?
They are humming. Really humming.
Hot. Really, running a muck, you could say.
Yeah.
Chocolate everywhere too, eh?
I think it's a huge shed boost.
Gitter must be doing well at coaching, but like it's neat for me because I know how the chocolate all started, and then to see like the fans embrace it, and then it's getting bigger and they're pushing the envelope. It's like Monday Fun Days. We're pushing the envelope and it's getting bigger and better every time, right?
Insane. But no, I'm really pleased for Manchester. They're going into the they're going down the back nine hot.
Yeah. That DeLuca's running amok, and now they got Jesper Orval coming back, one of my favorite players that I've never seen play. And you know, people have been importing yaps for Jesper out of Sweden. And to think from talking to people in my shed that we're getting chocolate imported from Sweden to Manchester, and then you see the videos of all of the chocolate hitting the ice, and it's like this is like as cool as it gets. And it's really neat that happens. So thank you, Manchester. Right?
Way to go, Storm fans. Always take the weather. That's their saying. Always take the weather with you.
Is that their saying in Manchester?
That's their saying.
Really? Because it rains a lot?
No, because they're the Storm. So you always take
storm.
So when you're on the road, always take the weather with you. and they play that
I mean, I think it'd be cool if we started traveling with chocolate, right? Like,
why not?
right? Like, so what are they going to do? Kick you out of the rink? It's not even your rink. You don't even want to go back, right? It's like,
But
let's
but
start
also
chucking
game's
chocolate
finished.
on the road trips,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, game's done. So what they gonna do? Oh, we're gonna kick you out. Yeah, I was leaving anyway, dude. See
Yeah, we're heading back to Manchester, right? So
with, with our 2 points.
I like it. It probably really hurt the home team's feelings, right? That like Manchester deserves chocolate on our home ice, and it's like, geez, that hurts, right? And it's like, that's hockey.
Yeah.
Sorry, be better, right?
I wonder if they're gonna throw chocolate on the ice at Batchy's testimonial or Wally.
I heard there's
That's a
people that want to. Yeah.
oh, what are you gonna ask for? What's your chocolate? Does anyone ever ask for your chocolate?
No, nobody's ever asked me. I'm not a player anymore. It doesn't matter, you know.
It will be.
But I do think like one of the coolest things ever was when my under 11s came on last year and we made a memory for life. And then we had Buenos for the boys, and that my fellows over here saw that happened by talking in the shed. You know, that's cool. But I would say a Bueno is my favorite chocolate bar. There's not something about hazelnuts, you know.
I love a bueno.
And it brings back the memory of the fellows and coming on the pod, and that there was actually Buenos all over the ice that one day for my under 11 Canucks was pretty neat, right?
Wild. What else? I also quite partial with Snickers.
Peanuts, man. There's allergies out there, you know.
Oh, I know, but it gets because it's got everything a nutritious meal has, because the peanuts have protein and everything in.
Yeah, you know all about nutrition, eh? Snickers is a good chocolate bar. There's no doubt. Yeah, maybe that's what we should do, eh? Is like, because obviously Manchester, they're running amok and there's chocolate everywhere, but maybe I should have some fellas on that are coming to the testimonial and ask them what chocolate they want, and then after Batchy's game, we'll just yeah, have at it, eh?
We'll definitely need something after that game to be absorbing some fluid.
So what's the plan this time for this testimonial? We gonna go oyster catch it again and then hit the town, then run a muck Chippy Lane?
Yeah, start to catching oysters and around.
I feel like I almost caught an oyster there last time.
We got it fast.
Yeah.
Real fast.
That taxi ride into town with that little guitar was just so much fun, eh?
When he started, he's telling us he's got, what was it, a Spotify or some SoundCloud or something. He's like, yeah, you can load my music. And I was like, no.
I had never seen that instrument before. Don't think I'll ever see it again. But I ran amok with it, didn't I? I was a good singer and instrumenter, whatever you call it, right? You know what's interesting for me with your time with Manchester, one of my new favorite teams, right? Basically, I cheer for the Devils and Manchester now, right? And I think it's really neat seeing the chocolate hit the ice. So keep on rocking, Storm fans. But your season in Manchester, I was looking to see if any of the chocolatey fellas were on the team. The only guys that are still there were Ginner and Dallas Earhart.
Yeah.
That's it.
I think so. They've had a big shift in the last few years.
Yeah. Yeah.
You haven't got that. Yeah.
Dallas? I think he's scared of the shed.
I'm surprised. He's quite an outgoing guy.
Is he?
He's a busy guy though, because he's got his job outside of hockey too.
Oh, is he one of those guys that just gives her?
Like busy.
Really?
Turns up from work, goes straight back to work.
Those guys are impressive, aren't they?
Yeah, I don't know how they do it.
I don't either. It was hard enough for me to just be a hockey player.
Yeah, well, you did university too, and somehow you managed to get a degree.
Dude, this is like top of the class, man. Me and Murphy ran amok. So did Hoth.
Pigsy got you your degree. Let's not lie.
Oh, he only rewrote one paper for
me. Yeah, the final.
He what's it called? He proofread it, you know. I got the words out there, you know. There's a lot of words to write. Jeepers.
Yeah, just made some records.
He just fixed. You know what though? What he taught me though, going through it. I still remember we were driving to Swindon for practice, and we were in the back seat working on my thesis or whatever. And the way he put together sentences and like explained it to me, has like it's changed my life, because the way he explained it made it so simple, and it always made sense since then. That now at work I have like some of the big dogs send me emails that they're going to send out to the company, and they have me proofread for them, and now I'm the piglet.
That's very, very worrying.
You think? I think it's cool.
It's
Just before we jumped on here, and one of the fellas wrote to me and he said, "How's this restaurant in town?" And I was like, "That's the best restaurant in town." That's the best food you can get. And he goes, "Okay, I'm trying to branch out. I'm trying to be a little bit more Wally." And I'm like, "That's funny." And it was all to do with food.
Never would have guessed you're a food guy, Wally.
Right? I've still been sexting you my kebabs when I eat them too, eh?
That's what I said.
I know how to get you hot and bothered.
She's like,
"How is the kebab game in Graz?" Really? I thought it'd be like Germany. Germany's got a high-end kebab game, man.
If you like a chicken kebab, it's really good actually. There's a bucket of them, but if you like a lamb doner, hard to, and when you do get it, it's not that great.
Really?
It's pretty black.
Yeah, I didn't think you were going to answer like that. I thought they'd be better.
No, the pizza is a lot better over there because everything is fresh dough. They make everything right. So the pizza game is top of the tree.
But like, if you can go to those kebab shops where they also make, this is what happened in Bietigheim, man. This is what happened to my body and everything. They would have the pizza oven. You can make pizzas there, but then they also put that dough in for the lamb kebab, right?
Yeah.
And they put that dough in, and then they wrap that around your, oh, my mouth is watering. Good Lord.
Yeah.
But then they were putting in, like, they were fresh cut fries, and they were putting that in my kebab too. It was wild.
Like a proper Greek, is it gyros or gyros?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then you get the tzatziki, the cucumber, the tomatoes, the onion, right? And it's just like, and you're only charging me like €350 for this, and it's like, I will be here every day until Jeremy asks me to leave.
I went for beer here week. I went to Bristol to see Jamie Elson. He was coaching, so I went with Jamie, and I bought a beer, and a pint of beer was $5.50. So what? It's $3.30 back in Graz, and that's if I pay. Normally, I get them free.
£5.50?
Yeah.
For one beer?
Yeah. So what's that? That's like $8.
That's as much as it costs for like a beer in Canada. And it's like, how do people afford to drink now?
Let's just buy a bottle of whiskey and be done with it.
Well, that's why you can't drink in public. It's too much money. You gotta go to your shed.
That's what I need to put up in here. I need to put up some of those little optic things, you know.
And one thing we can't forget though, rah, I'm coming over to see you, and you got to have a jersey ready for me, right? Because I want to put a jersey up in the shed, like up top there, where we can see an Evans number 18 Cardiff Junior Devils jersey, right? And then the other thing that's going to happen is Stevie Lyons told me he's sponsoring my jersey for the Batchy testimonial game, and he's going to let the shed sponsor it and put my logo on the back of my jersey, and we're going to raffle it off in the shed, folks, to help pay for my trip over. And I think that's going to be really neat that somebody can try and win that via raffle instead of the crazy amounts of money I saw happen at the raffle or the auction at Myers, eh?
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah, so that's going to be fun. And then I also asked him to make another one, an extra one, so I could put that up in the shed too, right? Never had a 2 Ales and Hockey Tales logo on a Walton 18 jersey. I guess I made those jerseys last year that I gave them all away. I don't have any more.
Should have kept one for yourself.
I know, but then I there's something came up and I had to auction it off to help someone, and now I don't have one. So tough bounce, right? I can always make more, right?
Exactly.
So what is the best restaurant in Graz, Austria?
I'd say El Gaucho is like the nicest steak place. I like going there for steak.
El Gaucho?
Yeah, it's a steak place. And there's um Trattoria Venezia is the best Italian. I took Marty there once, and I took Bouncy there a couple of times
You
when
have
they
had
were
some devils there with you, haven't you?
had a few, had a
And you had
few.
Livy.
But Livy, the Bent Blood, he was an ex-devil. Uh, Bouncy, Marty. We had Kalle Ackered, who was obviously in the Elite League. He's in back in Sheffield now. I think he's tearing it up there too.
Is he? You sent me his number and told me to get him in the shed, but I got a little sidetracked with other stuff. I haven't wrote to him yet.
Cool Kalle guy.
Should I get
But
him in there? Looks Sheffield might need a shed boost, but I'm kind of dedicated to the Storm for this season, right? I'm kind of all in here.
see
Right?
what
Because
you
if they win it, then like I could feel like I was a part of it, right? Because I helped give shed boosts, right?
exactly.
Is that me being crazy, or am I not involved at all? Because I had on the bus driver, I've had on the head of marketing, Jake, I've had their match night announcer, their strength coach, I've had on a bunch of their players that seem to all be running amok. And yes, Zach Herman, the Herminator, I see what you're doing too. You're running amok too, right?
So yeah, you're deep into the chocolatey Manchester Storm this season.
I really am. Yeah. Yeah.
So
I don't
yeah,
know really how it all happened, but I met some shed guys, and then I saw pictures of them playing, and I'm like, that's the big blue tent. And then, you start taking a shine to them, and then you want to see Ginner do well as first year coaching, and you want to see Finner do well. And then you have on their captain, and you're like, wow, this guy's like the epitome of a shed guy. And then you just ask him what chocolate he wants. And then next thing you know, right?
well, then it just keeps rolling and growing.
Right. And then it just gets carried away. And I love when things get carried away. I really do. And winning's fun, and fun is fun, right?
As long as you're winning and as long as you're smiling, it's wild.
I bet you
And
the
you can
Manchester fellas are having a time right now when they're winning all the games.
Sunday bus trips home, but when they're winning on the road are great fun too.
Right. Remember like our bus trips at Cardiff, and what could happen to Carl by the time we got home?
We just we can't we can't tell her.
No. The fun is fun though, and winning's fun. And then like it's weird because then when you win, you can like actually like be yourself and do whatever you want and like run amok, right?
Yeah, you can have fun. You don't have to sit there all glum and sad.
Right. And it's like winning is the opposite of losing. It's like the exact opposite.
100%. And you don't have like when we used to lose on the road and it'd be a long trip and Lord, if someone laughed, Lord would look up from his laptop and give you the death stare. Like, why are you laughing?
Yeah.
We lost
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
bus trip.
Yeah. Well, it can get carried away. And it's almost like winning is like addictive, and it once you get rolling, you can really roll. But losing's also the same. When you start it's I remember at Hellbroad, man, we had a good team and we'd have leads in the third period and we'd always piss it down our leg. And I'd remember guys being the other team would like score a goal or something, and they'd be like, not tonight, not again. And it was like our mindset was like, we're gonna
Yeah,
screw this up.
yeah, because you're not striving to win, striving not to lose because you're in that funk.
Yeah. Yeah. And
And
that can be it.
spirals.
And then when the coaches start being meanie weenies, and then you can't be yourself at the rink, you can't smile, you can't laugh. And it's like then all of a sudden hockey's not fun. And then fun isn't fun. And then all of a sudden you just keep losing, right?
When you go into the rink and every day is just like
A blowout. Yeah.
then you don't want to go.
And then you don't
And
win the next game.
no, exactly. So it's gonna suck and suck and suck.
Mm-hmm. Because sucking sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Ice is
Yep. I totally understand what we're talking about. I know you do too. So as an equipment manager, um, you can help with wins and losses. You can make sure everybody has the tools they need to succeed, right? But it's not you scoring the goals. So how pissed off do you get between wins and losses?
It depends how you lose.
Right.
If
Yes. You can have a good loss.
if you put your balls on the line,
Yeah.
and you're given her, and you lose, then
That's
that
okay.
happens.
Yeah.
There's bad, and there's just bad luck, and you could get beaten by just a better team. But when you show up and you play like kids and you chase shadows, or you just have no heart and you won't go in a corner first, then I'm pissed. That's
Yeah.
when I
Right.
get.
Yeah. Yeah. It's because it's hard to watch that stuff, right?
I've done all I can to give them everything they need. I'm like, so what's your excuse for not turning up?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, especially in like, but it's weird, right? Because in pro hockey, you can see that happen sometimes. And it's like, this is your job. This is what you signed up for. And like winning and losing is the opposite. And like we get paid to go try and win these games. And like, and then like some people get what it takes and some people don't. I still remember the best centerman I ever had. It was right at the start of the season. And we were just getting to know each other. And there was a forecheck on a power play. And I didn't get the puck back. And the D-man got it and like whatever rimmed it out. And we got back to the bench. And he said to me, he's like, Waldo, like, if we're going to be imports in Europe, if we're going to be imports in Germany for a long time, he said that needs to be our puck. You need to get that puck. And I was like, oh, oh, okay. And then the next time I did get that puck, right? And we never had that conversation again.
And then other imports that come in and they don't get it and they're just coasting along.
And then they're gone.
Yeah, they wonder why they either get fired mid-season or they don't get renewed.
Here's a name for you. I'm wondering if you've ever heard this name. Luke Pither?
Yes, played in Glasgow, I think.
Nottingham.
Nottingham.
So I went out and watched the Ripley Wolves play game 7 against Port Elgin, the Winterhawks, to see who went to the finals. I go and watch this game, and this kid on the other team got the puck in the slot and like shot her top titties. And I was like, whoa, who's that guy? Like, that guy's a professional. And sure enough, I look him up, and like he has a very similar resume to all the Shed guys. He was in Nottingham. I think he was in the Finnish league for a bit in Austria. Like he's a player.
I remember I couldn't remember if it was Nottingham or Glasgow, but I remember he was legit.
He was legit, and just seeing him play senior A around here, and it was interesting because Ripley ended up winning the game. But like that kid, if you would have given him another shot in the slot, it was going in. But what was interesting for me was I had played in that league a few years ago. And for me, I was huffing and puffing all over the place. I was rolling around the ice basically because I was so fat. And this kid was like still in shape and could still move. And like this kid could still be playing. And like he played like the whole third period. And he was one of those guys that could just cruise around and he wasn't getting tired. I was like, God, that game looks easy for this guy.
I had my skates up.
Tying your skates can get difficult, right?
When you've got a barrel, you can't see them.
Yeah. Like I see the people that put their pants on and then try and tie their skates. It's like, jeepers, no, man. Dude, that ship sailed long ago.
skates, then shin pads, and then put the pants on last.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's not even up for debate, folks. Use your heads, right?
If you've got pants on, I can't do that. I'll give myself an asthma attack or something.
Oh yeah. Well, you have to like let all the air out and then try and bend over and get to your laces. It's like it's not good for your confidence before you go out and skate, right? You don't need that. You want to get down there, feel comfortable, tie them up. Right?
So when you're sweating doing your skates, you're thinking, yeah.
Yeah. No, it was fun last night though, that parent kid game. It was pretty neat that like those kids thought they were gonna win when we were showing up. They were all chirping us and stuff. And like these fellows that are in under 11 hockey thought they were gonna beat us in a hockey game. And it wasn't close. They're not there yet, folks. It was like had to have been like 9-2.
While to go.
Yeah, and there was definitely some more gears that could have been hit if we needed to, but right. So good luck next year, fellas, right?
Munchkins.
Um, so here's a question then. You have we talked about how seasons just fly by. You've now been like an equipment manager. This is like you've been through 9 years of it already, eh?
Yeah, and it's flown.
And that your first year was with me, right? So that was
Yeah,
that was 9 years ago,
that's crazy.
isn't it?
In the tent.
In the tent. That's when I was a player though, folks. It wasn't until the next year that Dease decided to spray my tallywhacker, right?
And but let's be honest, we spent a lot of money on paint to paint that thing.
Yeah, well, we did spend a lot of money on paint that year, right? We handed in the receipts.
Yeah. I got to a point where God was like, hey, you can't keep increasing it week on week. What we spent.
So what we'd need is, I think it was like 4 spray cans to cover the canvas. And also an outfit, right? So I'd hit Toys R Us to find, once we had gone through all the superheroes and we had to keep it fresh, the boys would go out to practice and I would head over to Toys R Us to find my outfit.
I think
you got to fill your days, folks, right?
That Toys R Us would have gone bankrupt a lot sooner had we not been there.
Yeah, I really enjoyed one of my last ones was the ninja outfit. I got the kids like ninja thing, and there was throwing stars, there was a samurai sword, right? It was a pretty neat outfit.
It was cool. And the good thing was
I think Hendo taped the samurai sword to my back. He was not playing that night, and he was the one helping me out. It's a team sport, right? You need everyone to win, and whoever wasn't playing would help get me ready for the show, right?
That was a home game. I was like, where are those two in? And right before went out, I walked into the container to see where you were. There's you and sat there with a beer. I was like, whoa. Can't be having beers without me. We shotgunned a beer and then went straight in for.
I didn't shotgun beers. I can't do that. I'm not the college kid I once was. I'm a sipper now, you know?
You're a sipper, but I was
Yeah, you had to go out and be an equipment manager. I just had to be the power play coach. I could do that after 1 or 2. Oh gosh, fun times though, isn't it? So, and that's what's so cool for me though. To honestly, like people may not get it, and there's probably lots of Devils fans that don't get why I'm so into the Manchester Storm. Well, folks, they remind me of us. They're playing in the big blue tent. They're a bunch of ragtag fellas that aren't the big import splash signings, right? That all have gone over there and are just running amok. Then you see a guy like Anthony DeLuca that's totally misunderstood. And then he comes to the shed. He's a shed guy. He's a beauty. And then you see him sign in Manchester when his suspension's over. Then he starts running amok, and it just fills my heart to see good people do well, you know?
Does what it needs to do.
And
they're in the same direction. They know they're in the same boat. So they're like, wow, we might as well enjoy it while we're here.
And wow. And then, like, did you not think, like, when they win and they know chocolate will hit the ice, and they're like, gosh, this is cool. Like, we gotta earn it, you know? That's cool.
Yeah. Gotta have rewards.
You know what? Do you know how it all started? Because this is why I've been so invested too, is like, they share stuff I post and tag them in. Like Manchester is fully on board with fun, right?
They give back.
Yeah. And what's neat for me was the way it all started. The folks may not know this because I've never told anybody. Critch came on and we talked about the chocolate storm. And then I did fire a message to Finner and I said, hey man, I'm going to post something. Whoever your social media person is, tell them to please share it. And it was the snip of saying, so you just want chocolatey storm and you want to do this. And then Manchester shares it. And now look where we are, right?
That's amazing.
Fun is fun.
My phone's going to die, so I've got to go find a charger. So we're going in the house.
It's like your first time in the shed. Jeepers creepers. Well, I don't know what else I got for you, man. Do you got anything else other than it must be different being equipment manager at the Graz barn than the big blue tent type style, right? Because you did do the big blue tent and the storm shelter.
yeah, it's it was a nice change, a lot warmer change, that's for sure. I'm back. Um, so is this thing charging? One sec. Yeah, charging. Um, so yeah, it was. I'm real lucky. Like we talked before about how lucky I am that I've got all the toys and a nice room and solid walls and stuff.
But sometimes
So
that's not hockey. Sometimes it's a little too cushy, you know?
yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
I'm a big blue tent type of guy. That's what I liked. I would rather be there and be mucking it up than be in the big fancy pants places. I just didn't fit in those types of places, you know?
Get too pampered. That's exactly it.
Too pampered. And then you get
Yeah,
soft when you get on the ice, right?
yeah, because guys are spoiled and they're like, oh, I need this and I need that.
Yeah,
You know,
that's true.
you get babies that are demanding and they have to have this and they have to have that, and then they don't like it when they get told, no, you can't have that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that was the good
There's
thing.
definitely nobody getting babied at the big blue tent back in the day.
No, no.
I remember the showers were 6 inches deep of water that had been sitting there for days. And we would just
Much,
get in there whatever. And then back when hockey was hockey, folks, we put cup holders in the shower for our beers at the big blue tent.
you guys came in one day and like, what are you doing, Dease? I was like, well, I'm just putting beer holders in here because I realized we have to try and make the place a little better.
Like, I don't know. I hear hockey is totally different. And then there's been fellas after hours that tell me how different some of the new school players are. And the young guys the young guys coming into the game, like you talk about being spoiled. Like I hear there's some attitudes that could use adjusting around the sport.
Yeah, it's a lot softer now than it used to be. Like
Yeah.
guys have sniffles and I can't come in for a week. Why? I have a cold. Like, what? We had a guy 10 days this year. He had a cold.
He missed 10 days mid-season.
10 days with a cold.
And like, I remember a speech I got from my East Coast coach. It was the first year and I was having wrist problems or something. And he said to me, he said, "Are you hurt or are you injured?"
Exactly.
And I said, "What's that now?" And he said, "Well, if you're injured, you can't play." And he's like, "If you're hurt, you can play." And he's like, "Just FYI, if you don't play," he's like, "so and so is going to take the half wall of the power play, and we'll see how he does tonight." And I was like,
"Yeah,
I'm hurt, coach. I'll play."
Yeah, I'll play hurt.
And and then I remember in Germany, I got in trouble. The Landsuit got mad at me because I didn't tell them about an issue I was having. And I was like, what? Why do I need to tell you about it? It's like, it's mine to deal with. I'm going out and playing the best I can. I don't need to tell you that I'm a bit hurt.
No, it's like, well, we're going. So let's just deal with it.
Yeah. But I guess it does make sense to tell them so they maybe know why you're not playing as well. Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. I think that was more the point. They're like, why can't you shoot? And I'm like,
yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Wrist is done.
So do you get as excited for a season in Graz as you would in Cardiff?
Yeah, I'm still excited. I'm still excited every year to go.
Yeah.
I think that's just the competitor in me, though. Doesn't matter. I just want to win. I just like.
What's your guys' budget compared to the other teams in that league? Because I see how nice the arena is. I see how fancy the locker room is. I remember they were sniffing around me when I was in Bietigheim, and they seem to have enough money that they could be pretty darn competitive, but they always seem to be like a pre-playoff team.
We're a mid-table team. We're a mid-table budget. Like you go up against Klagenfurt, Salzburg, Bolzano, and their budget's probably 3 times what ours is.
Right.
It's crazy. It really is crazy.
And then you see some of the players they get in with those budgets, and you're like, wow, that guy's really good.
Guys come in from the A or down from the K or something. They go to those teams and they're only in our league for a season because then they bounce straight off to the NLA in Switzerland or somewhere because they've lit it up.
Right.
I'm like, wow. But we had one guy the year before I came to Graz, Matt Cato. He came from the East Coast, I think it was. He came to Graz, lit it up there. Then he went to Finland, lit it up there, and he's now in the SHL. I think he's on Oscar Sham, and he's on crazy money. He's probably on 300,000 a year.
Well, and that you see those stories happen in Europe, and people that like from North America that are all in the NHL would have no idea. Like when I went to Europe, that was my goal, right? And I was pretty well on that path until I screwed up my knee the second year. But there's guys that go over there and like maybe they didn't get the chance in North America, or they didn't get out of the coast for whatever reason, or maybe they just fit better in European style, right?
Yeah.
But they get over there and like their first year is so important. It's like, I would say your rookie year in North America is your most important because that's kind of where they peg you in, as well as your first year in Europe is your most important.
Yeah, because then you grow. As long as you can survive the first year and you grow, you can go anywhere.
Well, if you run a muck your first year in Europe, there's a lot of doors that start opening. Yeah. But if you don't, there's not many opening.
Since I've been here, I make so many acquaintances and connections. I get so many doors opening for me now too.
Right. So, and there's connections and opportunities is all about who you know, and it's all about networking, right?
Yeah.
Do you know I had someone write to me and told me that whenever I was ready to have a coaching job to just let him know and he would get me one, like in professional, and I've been having a tough time getting minor hockey gigs. Sorry, I think it's funny, right?
Very funny. Like, oh, so I'm kids.
The only thing I would say though is like, so if you think your kid can make it places and you think he can go places, wouldn't you want me on your team? Wouldn't you want me to help him?
Yeah.
Just thinking out loud in the shed. Right?
But that's the coaching world for you.
Sometimes in hockey, sometimes things just don't make sense, right? You just got to go with it. Then you got to try and prove people wrong, right?
A lot of things in hockey don't make sense.
Right. All you can do is try and prove people wrong, right?
Exactly. Stick it to them.
Right. That's hockey, right?
Fuck them. That's what we used to say.
And that was hockey. We were talking about how it's changed so much, but man, that season in Cardiff, the two of them, like that was as hockey gets. The games on the ice against the other teams were awesome. Playing Braehead or Sheffield, or Belfast, like man, they were as competitive as hockey games got. There was fighting, there was hitting, there was scoring, and the fans were into it. The players were into it. Like I loved it. And then when you won, you crushed beers together as a team in the locker room with ice packs all over you, right?
Ice and pizzas.
Right. Yeah. I don't think there's enough ice packs probably on the fellas as much that I see in hockey. There's probably less ice packs on people than there used to be.
Yeah, they don't go through it so much anymore.
Right. Anywho, so how did you land this China job?
It was about 6 weeks ago, maybe. I just got a random message on Facebook through the head coach of the China team, Greg Ireland, and Greg used to be in my league coaching Bolzano. And
you're saying the coach is Greg Ireland?
Yeah. Who have you got?
It was I don't know. I think it was a different guy last time.
But
I feel like I'm supposed to know who that is.
Greg's coached little NHL, Swiss NLA. He's coached in a lot of places. He's in KHL now. Yeah. So he's coached in a lot of high-end places. But we went to play Bolzano once, and we wanted to go see a player that was playing in the Alps League, Ritten Renon. And so me and the coach, Doug Mason, and the assistant coach, Jens Gustafsson, we took a cab, went up to Ritten and watched the game from VIP, and Greg was also there. So me and Greg ended up having a a few sherbets, and just kept in touch. And then when Greg signed Fournier, or before Greg signed Fournier from Cardiff to go to Bolzano, he called me reference. So I gave Fawns the reference to get there. And we just kept in touch. And then about 6 weeks ago, I just had the message off him, hey, would you be interested? And it just went from there.
Yeah, I totally know who this guy is. It's crazy. He was an Owen Sound Attack head coach for 4 years.
Yeah, that's it. He was in the...
That's the closest OHL team to where I live right now. And then he was also a Daytona Beach Bombers head coach for like 5-6 years. Yeah,
Wow.
He's definitely from my neck of the woods, though, because it says he was a coach for the Oakville Blades and junior and the Caledon Canadians. Look at that. Small world.
That's cool.
Yeah. Anyways, hopefully I was like a new school punk there. I've never looked something up while talking to someone in the shed. I've seen other people do it while I talk to them. I've never been able to do that. I want to stay focused on you, Dease.
No,
I knew that name rang a bell, though. Gosh darn it. So that's the coach of China.
Yeah, great guy. Great guy.
That's cool. And it's all about who you know, right? And now that you're spreading your wings in Graz, you have met a lot more people around the world, haven't you?
Yeah. I won't name names, but I turned down a job last week with a team in a northern part of Europe, a very northern part of Europe.
Really? That would change your life too, eh? Everywhere you'd play would change your life.
Yeah.
Graz would be a nice place to live. It'd be nice if you could win more.
Graz is beautiful. Like, I'm quite happy to spend forever in Graz. But no, the job that was offered to me last week was really good. But and also I've got my contract for next year in Graz, and I'm not the guy to just run away on that one.
Right. Wow, that's interesting. There is potential in the equipment managing world, right? If you're good at your job and you know people and you work hard, you know what you're doing, you're a shed guy. There's a lot of places you can go, eh? It's like playing.
Because hockey players know hockey players, and
shed guys know shed guys.
Yeah, exactly. But they retire and they become coaches, they become GMs, and they're like, hey, I had a good equipment guy, or I had a good physio or something in this team. I wonder if he'll move and relocate. So we get a lot of calls.
You get a lot of calls. I find it so neat nowadays when I get back around rigs that all the shed guys, a lot of them they were hockey guys their whole lives. I had them on, and now that they're all still in the game coaching and stuff, it's like I go to OHL games, I know the coaches, right? I know the GMs, and then I go look at all these rosters. I know the players are like the guys I know's kids, and it's all very strange, this hockey world. And it's weird for me because I never even put it together until I got out to the shed and started talking.
It's a real big spider web. Like, I get calls from coaches and GMs in the Elite League asking me about players that have either been on my teams or we've played against, and they're like, what does he look like? How's he doing? So it's you'd never have thought someone would call me for a reference on a player. I was like,
right. But now they even know you're a shed guy too, right? And now they're like, oh, we got to get his opinion.
They're like, well, you must know something. The only thing I know is kebabs and chocolate.
But no, you do know who's good at hockey. Me and you have talked numerous times about different players and how things work out. And like, I'll tell you what I think, and you're like, yeah. And then you tell me what you think. I'm like, yeah. Folks, sometimes it's interesting who has really smart hockey brains. Sometimes it's the people you'd least expect.
And sometimes the people you think would have a really good hockey brain, you're scratching your head going, where did you get that idea?
Are you serious?
Yeah. What are you?
You're absolutely right about that. Well, we're gonna have to make a plan for June here, eh? Not long now.
I'm excited. Well, we have to get through testimonial first.
We have to survive that. That has to happen. Yeah, we got to catch oysters and then run amok on the ice. And then it's pretty neat that I'm coming back and that I'm gonna get to see everybody again.
going to be awesome, and it's also going to be a gong show.
Right. And you know what's sad is I'm missing a gong show in a week from now. I'm supposed to be.
Buddy,
Yeah, his jersey's getting retired April 1st, and I was invited. And then I saw like big sexy Justin Kelly post a picture of Bietigheim, and like he's there already, and he's turning it into like a full European vacation and doing like the full deal. And it can make a guy very jealous when you see pics of your old buddies back in your old stomping grounds, and they're going to run a muck and they're going to have a gong show. And I really wish I was there doing it with them.
going back to all the old horn.
It's pretty neat to get invited back. It can mean a lot to a guy this long after you're out that,
Yeah, there can be.
but it's also that like the stuff doesn't happen if you don't win, right? Winning is what makes the stuff happen.
Like we said earlier, they don't care about you. If you're not on a winning team, they're like, nah, you weren't here.
What, right? It's like to get a jersey retired, you have to win, right?
Yeah.
You have to.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's neat how many guys I played with have jerseys retired, but I guess I did win quite a bit. Just didn't realize it till later on.
As long as you realize, it doesn't matter.
Right. But it's pretty neat. And now I have all those shed guys behind me on my masterpiece from Lee, right? I'm not going to forget this time. I'm not going to forget this time. We're having a jersey raffle at aleshockeytales.com, folks. I am trying to raise money for Rich Bateman, for Rich's road to recovery from a massive stroke, as well as ALS. I keep forgetting to bring this up because I get chatting with my friends and I forget. We are having that raffle. It's for a Kenton Smith jersey from the Matska night. And that's at aleshockeytales.com, folks. So please buy tickets and help support, right?
Do it. Was that the one Martin gave you, Martin Maloney?
That's right. Yep.
Great guys, Martin and Ricky.
They are great guys. They're Shed family. Yep. And they are the ones that gave me that to do something good with it, right? And it's like, well, if I never came out here and started shooting the shit with my buddies because I missed them, all these opportunities to help folks wouldn't be possible.
Actually, just done for the hockey community. You brought a lot of people together with the chocolate, with the raffles, with the different fundraising things and stuff. Be proud of that one.
Well, you know, sometimes I maybe should sit down and think about everything that's gone on, but I'm kind of more of a who's next type of a guy.
Moving forward.
Yeah, there's been a lot of fun happening though, folks, and it's the Shed family is a very neat thing. I still can't believe it. I don't even try to wrap my head around it anymore because it's all so ridiculous that it's cool. And like chocolate hitting the ice in Manchester, chocolate hitting the ice in Herning, Denmark, Cardiff, Wales, Sheffield, England. And then the money we've raised for charities, for different people that mean something to me. It is wild. And it's all from shooting the shit in my shed. And sometimes I get to crush pines.
You. That's all it was. Lisa's like, hey, go down the shed, go drink some beers and leave me alone.
Well, it's a pretty neat setup that we can do all this. And it's like, I don't have to drive home. I can have as much fun as I want. And I'm right here if anybody needs me.
Exactly.
Yeah. Fun is fun, right? Winning's fun. And every time I do this, I feel like I'm winning because it's like the best. When we locked this down this morning that we were going to do this today, I'm a happier person. And it's like anything somebody puts in front of me, I'm like, I can do that. No problem. I get to go to the shed today.
Like, yeah, as long as I get fun at the end of the day, who cares?
Right? It just gives you a little pep in your step, right? Enjoying life is way more fun than not, right?
It's when the wife says, wait till you get home later, and you're like, ba-da-ba-ba-ba. You know you're in a promise, and then you get home and you realize something's gone wrong and you're not getting that goddamn promise.
Fun stuff. Well, I guess all this China stuff's gonna happen before I see you.
Yeah, I go a week tomorrow.
Right. When I'm supposed to be in Germany.
So I'll send you some pictures from my travels.
Yeah. And maybe make it a bit of a shed recruiting trip. Figure out who shed guys are on the team. I don't want any recommendations that aren't shed guys though, right? That's how this works.
Yeah, we can maybe get. I'm sure Greg will do it.
Right.
You get that, so you could get a KHL coach on there.
Right.
Um,
It's amazing how the options are endless of who you can have on, right?
oh,
I find it
and
interesting when people told me I was going to run out of guys, and it's like once this got going, it's like it's it's not possible to run out of guys.
and then obviously I'll speak to the players when I'm there, and we'll figure out who are shed guys, who are not.
Yeah, you'll
We
know
could.
pretty quick because if they're high maintenance and they're asking for a bunch of shit from you, they're probably not shed guys.
No, but we can ask Chelios if we can get him on, and then maybe we can get Poppy on, and then maybe you
I'd
can
imagine if his
do
son
Red.
is playing in the World Championships, Chris is probably going to show up, right?
I would imagine he's going to make the trip because he's not short of a few coins.
I think he's got the coins, and you'd probably want to watch your son. I think that'd be so cool to watch your son play in the World Championships.
Wild.
Gotta be interesting. He's playing for China.
So maybe we can get Chris Chelios on the pod. That'll be a
That
big
would be
shed.
that would be a shed boost. Yeah.
Then you get the 2001 2002 Detroit Red Wings team lined up.
Yeah. Yeah. But they got to be shed guys.
There's bound to be a few. Do you know who I'd like to hear on the shed? Darren McCarty. I think he'd be wild. I've listened to some podcasts with him.
Oh, yeah. That he probably would
He's
be.
not. He's from near Lisa's
Yeah.
home in the.
He most definitely is from around that area. I know people that know him. Yeah. Yeah. It's a small world and you get chatting around in the shed.
Shed is a very big place.
Yeah, and you know what's funny is I love it as much as I did the first time still. So,
It,
right?
don't lose. Molly.
No, you're right. So nice seeing you again, sir. We'll see you May 27th. See what team you're on. See if you're on my team or you're not on my team, right? If you're on my team, you're on my team.
That's why I got a bubble, because if I'm not on your team, you might kill me.
Hey, I'm gonna be playing to win, whatever the game is.
Okay, brother.
And this has been another episode of Two Ales and Hockey Tales with Dease and Wally.